I'm going to talk about occurring patterns. So let's look at weather warning. So Barton said OB is going to get some snowfall amounts near 5 centimeters. There's some reduced visibility. It's going to continue this morning. There's some weather advisory, which is from April the 10th, 6:19 a.m. to Friday, April 10, 4 p.m. Eastern whatever time. So let's look at pressure patterns. So 1024, 1020 millibars of pressure. Let's go to next hour, which is 8 p.m. April the 11th. So 1028 millibars of pressure. There is nothing else for this. So April the 12th, there is some rainfall. So 1008, 1012, 1016, 1020 millibars of pressure. Let's go to next hour, which is Maple the 13th, so 1012, 1012, 1012 millibars of pressure. Let's go to next hour, which is 8 p.m. April the 4th. Okay, let's start again. It's 1012, 8 p.m. 1012, 1008 millibars of pressure. Let's look at precipitation patterns. So 2 p.m. So Hamilton, Oakville, Sissaga, Brampton, Orangeville, Tata, Ontario, Chihill, Newmarket, Scarborough, Stoffel, Oshawa, Uxbridge, Coburg, Peterborough. Those is gonna get some 2.5 millimeters of rainfall. Naga, City, Babel. It's going to get some 0.25 millimeters of rainfall. Betty, Virginia, Beverly Hills. It's going to get some 6.25 millimeters of rainfall. La Collingwood. Line said, Boyalton, Hanover is going to get some 0.25 millimeters snowfall. Bombay, Sunby, Salaby, Midland. Hopefully, Wyton is going to get some 2.5 millimeters snowfall. Let's go to 5 p.m. There is something. So, Collingwood, Bombay, Sunby, Salaby, Midland. Olala, Betty, Naga, Naga, City doses are going to get some 0.25 millimeters of rainfall. So, Hamilton, Wokel, Sissaga, Brampton, Orangeville, Downtown Richard Hill, Newmarket, Scarborough, Stoffel, Lashua, Uxbridge, Coburg, Peterborough, Georgia, Beverly Hills, those is a capacity positive. It's gonna get some 2.5 millimeters of rainfall. Let's go to 8 p.m. So, Hamilton, Oakville, Sissaga, Brampton, Orangeville, Downtown Toronto, Richard Hill, Newmarket, Scarborough, Stoffel, Belleville, Niagara Lake, parts of Niagara, Falls City, those is gonna get some 0.25 millimeters of rainfall, including Ashura, Belleville. So Niagara Falls City is gonna get some 2.5 millimeters of rainfall. So let's go to next hour, which is 11 p.m. So Hamilton, Oakville, Sissaga, Brampton, Toronto, Richmond Hill, Niagara Falls City, those is gonna get some 0.25 millimeters of rainfall. So let's go to 8 a.m. There is nothing else. 11 a.m. There's nothing else. 2 p.m. There's nothing else. 5 p.m. There's nothing else. 11 p.m. There's nothing else. 8 a.m. there is nothing else. 11 a.m. there is something. So Collingwood, Palm Beach, Sun Beach, Salaby, and Naga, City, Hamilton, Oakville, Sissaga, Brampton, Orangeville, Downtown Toronto, Richmond Newmarket, Scarborough, Stoffel, Oshawa, Uxbridge, Beverly Hills, Betty. It's going to get some 0.25 millimeters of rainfall. Whitetown, Port Hudson, Hanover. It's going to get some 2.5 millimeters of rainfall. So line said OB is going to get some 0.25 millimeters of snowfall. Let's go to next hour, which is 8 p.m. There is something. So Scarborough, Stoffel, Toronto, Richmond Hill, Newmarket, Sissaga, Brampton, Orangeville, Uxbridge, Coburg, Peterborough, Georgia, Beverly Hills is going to get some 0.25 millimeters of rainfall, including Niagara Falls City. It's going to get some 0.25 millimeters of rainfall. So parts in Niagara Falls City, the light is 0.25, and the heavy is going to be 6.25 millimeters of rainfall. Betty, Alala, Collingwood. Those cities are going to get some 2.5 millimeters of rainfall. Like I said, our Bay Warton, it's going to get some 6.12.5 millimeters of rainfall. Collingwood. Palm Beach, Sunny Beach, South Bay, Midland is going to get some 6.25 millimeters of rainfall. Ogle is gonna get some 0.25 millimeters of rainfall. Oshawa is gonna get some 0.25 millimeters of rainfall. That's light as heavy is gonna be 2.5 millimeters, including Balbo. Let's go to next hour, which is 7 p.m. There is something. Wyatt's gonna get some for fifth layer, which is 25 millimeters of rainfall. That's in Wyatt. Hoops we're going to get some fourth light is green, which is it's going to be 18.12.5 millimeters of rainfall. It's in light, and that's not gonna be light. That's gonna be something else. So some different cities. So Palm Beach, Thunder Beach, South Beach is gonna get some 6.25 millimeters of rainfall. Do in Georgia, Baptist, Barry, la. So Midland's gonna get some 12.5 millimeters of rainfall. So Coburg, Oshawa, Uxbridge is going to get some 0.25 millimeters of rainfall, including parts of Scarborough. Newmarket, also Suffolk is going to get some 0.25 millimeters of rainfall. Peterborough, Belfast is going to get some 2.5 millimeters of rainfall. Let's go to next hour, which is Port Elgin. Port Elgin is going to get some. It's going to get some 15.75 millimeters of rainfall. So 15.75 is, yeah, this. For Port Elgin, Hanover is gonna get some third lightest blue, which is 18.75 millimeters of rainfall. That's some blue is actually green. So Lionshead is gonna get some 6.25 millimeters of rainfall. Lingwood is gonna get some 18.75 millimeters of rainfall. Let's go to Brampton. Orangeville is gonna get some 0.25 millimeters of rainfall, including parts of Scarborough. So let's go to next hour, which is 8 a.m. So let's go to next hour, this hour. So hopes it's gonna get some. It's going to get some for 18.75 millimeters of rainfall. That's Hopes Bay. Line says it's gonna get some 25 millimeters of rainfall. Palm Beach is gonna get some 6.25 millimeters, including Milan or the last about in Georgia. So Thunder Beach, South Beach, and Collingwood is going to get some 2.5 millimeters of rainfall, including Barry, Bablas, and Georgia. Skip Georgia, actually. So let's look at Coburg. Coburg is going to get some 2.5 millimeters of rainfall. Peterborough is going to get some 12.5 millimeters. Belfast is going to be 12.5 millimeters. So Sissaga, Brampton, Orangewood, Toronto, between Newmarket, Stouffles, it's going to get some 0.25 millimeters of rainfall. So it's going to get some light is 0.25, heavy is going to be 2.5. Uxbridge is going to get some 2.5 millimeters of rainfall. London. Where else in Hanover is going to get some 6.25 millimeters of rainfall. Let's go to next hour, which is 11 a.m. There is something. So Whiten is going to get some 0.25 millimeters of rainfall. Lineside OB is going to get some 12.5 millimeters of rainfall. So Lingwood is going to get some 2.5 millimeters. Palm Beach, Sunny Beach, Midland, Olala, Betty, Georgia, Beverly is going to get some 6.25 millimeters of rainfall. So for City, Hamilton, Oco, Sissaga, Brampton, Orangewood, Toronto, Hill, Newmarket, Scarborough, Stouffville, Oshawa. It's going to get some 0.25 millimeters of rainfall. So Coburg is going to get some 2.5 millimeters of rainfall, including Peterborough. Belfast is going to get some 6.25 millimeters of rainfall. Let's go to next. Port Ellis is 0.25. Arnhem is going to be 2.5 millimeters. So let's go to next hour, which is 2 p.m. So Whiteton, Lineshead, or Bay, White, Port Ellis in Hanover, Sissaga, Brampton, Orangewood, down Toronto, Richmond Hill, Oakville, Hamilton, Argonne Lake, Pacific. It's going to get some 0.25 millimeters of rainfall. Scarborough, Oshawa, Uxbridge, Coburg, Peterborough, Belleville. Beverly Hills, Betty is gonna get some 0.25 millimeters of rainfall. Actually, 2.5 millimeters of rainfall. So it's Alabama, Midland, Betty, Beverly Hills, or Midland. Collingwood is gonna get some passing through 6.25, 24 millimeters of rainfall, including Wallace, so Georgia included. So Niagara Falls City is gonna get some 2.5 millimeters of rainfall. Let's go to next hour, which is 5 p.m. There is something. So, Niagara City, Oshawa, Betty is going to get some 0.2.5 millimeters of rainfall, including Oshawa, so Niagara City, parts of it. So, Georgia is going to get some 2.5 millimeters, including Orla, Babla, Sissaga, Brampton, Orange Hill, Toronto, Richard Hills, Newmarket, Scarborough, and except Newmarket, Hamilton, Port Elgin, Hanover, Lineshead, Bay, Whitetown, Collingwood, Bombay, Sandby, Saturday, Mainland. Those cities are going to get some 0.25 millimeters of rainfall, including Belleville. So let's go to next hour, which is 8 p.m. There is something. So Niagara City, participant. Whitetown, Lineshead, OB, Boyles, and Hanover, Bombay, Sunday, Saturday, Mainland, Olala, Betty, Georgia, Baptist, Coburg, Peterborough, Belleville. Those cities are gonna get some 0.25 millimeters of rainfall. Let's go to 11 p.m. There is something. Coburg, Peterborough, Baptist, Georgia, Betty is gonna get some 0.25 millimeters of rainfall. Let's go to 8 a.m. There is something. There's nothing else. 11 a.m. There's nothing else. 2 p.m. There is something. So Oko's gonna get some 0.25 millimeters of rainfall. Let's go to next hour, which is 5 p.m. There is something. So or else in Hanover is gonna get some 0.25 millimeters of rainfall, including Oko, Sisaga, Delta, parts of Scarborough, parts of Oshawa. So line said OB is gonna be 6.25 millimeters of rainfall. White Sands 2.5 millimeters of rainfall. Let's go to next hour, which is 8 p.m. So Lingmu, Port Elgin, Hanover is gonna get some. Palm Beach, Olala, Hamilton, Oak is gonna get some 0.25 millimeters of rainfall. Ludi, Port Elgin, Hanover, Collingwood, Olala, Solid Bay, Hamilton, Oakville, those is gonna get some 0.25 millimeters of rainfall. So Whitehand is gonna get some 6.12.5 millimeters of rainfall. Hope's Way is gonna get some very close. So Hope's Way is gonna get some port layer, which is 18.75 millimeters of rainfall. That's an Hope's Way line set. So let's go to next hour. There's only one off. 117 hours. So Milton, Hamilton, Oco, Collingwood, Bombay, Stanby, Salway, Milan, is going to get some 0.25 millimeters of rainfall. So Wyton is going to get some third lightest wave, which is going to get some 25 millimeters of rainfall. So Wyton, so 8 millimeters. So it's going to get some 37 millimeters of rainfall, 37.5 millimeters of rainfall on Einstein Obey. So let's look at Port Ellis. And Port Ellis is going to get some 12.5. So 2.5, 6.25, 12.5. So 12.5 millimeters of rainfall. Port Ellis in Hanover is going to get some 6.25 millimeters of rainfall. So let's go to next hour, which is it's going to show up a little bit while after a while. So let's look at precipitation totals. So 8 p.m. there is some, oh, the 7 p.m. 8 p.m. there is something. Faucet is gonna get some 2 millimeters, including around the West X 0.378 millimeters. So let's go to the next 24 hours. There is something. So White's 23 millimeters. Line said OB is gonna get some 24 millimeters. Boyaz is gonna get some 24. So it's gonna get some 15 centimeters millimeters of rainfall. Collingwood 9 millimeters. Palm Beach 14 millimeters. Thunder Beach 13 millimeters. Solid Beach 13 millimeters. Actually 14 millimeters. Midland actually 15 millimeters. Since in Solid Bay, Midland's gonna get some 12.5 millimeters. Everywhere plus 2.2 millimeters of rainfall. 2 millimeters. Hamilton August 4 millimeters. Oko lightest is gonna get some this 1 millimeter, 2 millimeters. Heavy is gonna be 3 millimeters. Sissaga, Brampton is 1 millimeter, so 4.5 millimeters, Scarborough 4.5 millimeters, down to 5 millimeters. Newmarket Orange 4 millimeters, Wilkes 4 millimeters, Oshawa 4.36 millimeters. Peterborough 3 millimeters, Coburg 3 millimeters, Belleville 5 millimeters. Oko is gonna get some whatever. So you're done. So let's go to next hour, which is 8 p.m. Friday, not Friday, Monday, April 13th. So Whiteton 24 millimeters, line said 24 millimeters, Collingwood 16 millimeters. Boy, Elgin's gonna get some 20 and 18 millimeters of rainfall. Actually, is gonna get some 22 millimeters of rainfall. Hanover is gonna get some Hanover 21 millimeters of rainfall. Hanover 60 millimeters. Palm Beach gonna get some 22 millimeters. Dana Beach gonna get some 21 millimeters. Harbor Bay 21 millimeters. Midland's gonna get some 21 millimeters rainfall. So let's look at Georgia. Georgia is gonna get some 23 millimeters, 22 millimeters, where it's gonna be 22 millimeters, Alala 27 millimeters. Actually, it's gonna get some 24 millimeters of rainfall, so it's actually 28 millimeters. So if we went out for 3 millimeters, Hamilton is gonna be 2 millimeters. Oco is gonna be 1 millimeter. Oco is 2 millimeters. Habeas Light is 1 millimeters. Brampton 2 millimeters. This is like 1 millimeters. Toronto 1 millimeters. Scarborough 3 millimeters. Salford 6 millimeters. Newmarket Orange 8 millimeters, Hooksville 14 millimeters, Ashford 11 millimeters, Peterborough 28 millimeters, Coburg 10 millimeters, 27 millimeters in Belleville. Let's go to next hour, which is 8 p.m. April the 15th. So Port Elgin's 2 millimeters, Harlem is gonna be 2 millimeters, Wyerton 8 millimeters, Lionshead's gonna get some Line says gonna get some lightest blue, which is 22.5 millimeters of rainfall, but it's like 19.5 millimeters. Same thing is on Hoseway. So Bombay's on the beach gonna get some 0.3 millimeters. Hamilton is gonna be 0.8 millimeters or 0.9 millimeters. Oakland 0.8 millimeters. This is like 0.6 millimeters. Atlanta 0.2, downtown 0.6. Sweet. Which hails 0.3. Scarborough 0.3. So Stoufford's gonna get some whatever. So 0.3 millimeters, Oshawa 0.7 millimeters, Hooksville is going to get some 0.5 millimeters, Burke is going to cover 0.3 millimeters, Virginia gets nothing, Walala is going to get some 0.5 millimeters. Let's go to next hour. There is no next hour. That's actually correct. 90th hour first. So Port Elgin's going to get some lightest gray, which is blue actually, which is 22.5 millimeters of rainfall. Actually, it's gonna get lighter, so it's between mean average. So 20.5 millimeters in hardware actually. So could be hardware. So Y times 24 states everything is doesn't change actually. So let's look at total snowfall, which is there is nothing else for April 11. Let's look at April the 12th. There is something. So after this 8 temperature. So Newmarket orange holds about 3 centimeters, Hooksville about 2 centimeters, Salford about 2 centimeters, Watson's about 3 centimeters, Line said Obey is gonna get some 0.3 centimeters of snowfall. So Hooksville 0.2 centimeters. Let's look at next hour, which is 8 p.m. April 13th. There is nothing else. Let's look at April the 14th. There is nothing else. So let's look at air temperature pattern. So let's look at air temperature pattern. So 3 degrees of what? Town Collingwood is 2 degrees. 4 Elgin, 4 degrees. Hanover is going to get some 8 degrees, 7 degrees. Hopesway is 1 to 2 degrees. Lineshead 3 degrees. Collingwood 2 degrees. Bombay's 2 degrees. Sunderbeach 1 degree. Solid 4 degrees. Midland 5 degrees. Olala 4 degrees. Barrie 4 degrees. Georgina 3 degrees. Babdas is 4 degrees. Everywhere in Ag for 6 degrees, Hamilton Ogle 6 degrees, Brampton 9 degrees, it's like 8 degrees, Down 8 degrees, Scarborough 9 degrees, Tofu 9 degrees, Oshawa 9 degrees, Newmarket Orange 7 degrees, Hooksville 6 degrees, Peterborough 7 degrees, Coburg 6 degrees, Belleville 7 degrees, so Ogle 6 degrees. Let's go to next hour, which is 7 a.m. There is something, there's always something in temperature pattern, so let's go to 7 a.m. So line said OB is going to get some minus 2 degrees, y time minus 2 degrees, while 0 degrees, Hana is going to get some minus 2 degrees, column 1 degrees, 1 B is 0 degrees, Tana B is out B is going to be 1 degrees, Midland is going to get 0, minus 1 degrees, other minus 1 degrees, Ready minus 2 degrees, minus 1. Jotini 1 degrees, Webless is minus 1 degrees, everywhere in Ank Falls 1 degrees, Hamilton Oakles 2 degrees, Sissaga 1 degrees, Atlanta 1 degrees, Scarborough 0 degrees, minus 1 Stouffville, Blairhampton 0 degrees, Sissaga 1 degrees, Atlanta 1 degrees, Newmarket, Orange Road, 0 -2 degrees, Uxbridge, -2 degrees, Sasha, 0 degrees, Peterborough, -1, Coburg, 1 degrees, Valvo, 0 degrees. So let's go to next hour, which is 3 p.m. There is something. So, Whiteton, 6 degrees, Lingwood, 5 degrees, Lionshead is gonna get, Hopesway is gonna get some 5 degrees. Hopesway, Lionshead, 5 degrees actually. So Balm is 4 degrees, Solarby, 5 degrees, 4 degrees, Thunder Beach, 1 degrees, Georginia, 5 degrees, Webler, 5 degrees, Valley, 7 degrees, Alalas, 8 degrees, everywhere in Agpas, April, 5 degrees, Hamilton, Oakville, 7 degrees, Sissaga, 8 degrees, Branson, 10 degrees, Sofa, 9 degrees, Scarborough, 9 April, 5 degrees, Toronto, 8 degrees. Newmarket 8 degrees, Orange 8 degrees, Uxbridge 8 degrees, Oshawa 9 degrees, Peterborough 9 degrees, Coburg 7 degrees, Belleville 11 degrees. So let's go to next hour, which is 4 hours. It's 4 degrees. Hanover is gonna get some 6 degrees. So let's go to Midland, which is 7 degrees. So let's go to next hour, which is 7 a.m. There is something. So Brighton 2 degrees, Lionshead, OB 2 degrees, 4 hours in Hanover 3 degrees, Collingwood 2 degrees, Bombay, Sunday, Salaby, Midland 4 1 degrees, Olala, Betty, Georgia. Beverly Hills is 1 degrees, Georgia 2 degrees, everywhere in Agfast 4 degrees, Hamilton, Oakville 4 degrees, Brampton 2 degrees, Mississauga 2 degrees, Dodger 2 degrees, Scarborough 2 degrees, 1.5 degrees, Oval 1 degrees, Newmarket, Onslow 1 degrees, Uxbridge 1 degrees, Sasha 1 degrees, Peterborough 1 degrees, Coburg 1 degrees, Belleville 1 degrees. So what? Let's go to next hour, which is 3 p.m. There is something. So Wyatt 8 degrees, Collingwood 5 degrees, 4 hours and 8 degrees, Hanover's gonna get 9 degrees. So Palm Beach 4 degrees, Solid Bay 4 degrees, Thunder Beach gonna be 3 degrees, Midland 4 degrees, Georgia 5 degrees, Babylon 5 degrees, Valley 5 degrees, Alala 4 degrees, everywhere in Aquas for 12 degrees, Hamilton Oco gonna be 6 degrees, Mississauga 6 degrees, Brampton 6 degrees, Dada 5 degrees, Scarborough 5 degrees, Tofu 5 degrees, Newmarket Orange 5 degrees, Uxbridge 5 degrees, Sasha 5 degrees, Peterborough 4 degrees, Coburg 4 degrees, Belleville 5 degrees. Hope the line said is gonna get some 6 degrees. So let's go to next hour. It's actually 5 degrees. Like I said, obviously, so let's go to 7 a.m. There is something. So White up 12 degrees, Collingwood 4 degrees, whereas in 9 degrees, Hanover is 12 degrees. So everywhere in Agfast 14 degrees, Hamilton, Oakville 12 degrees, Brampton 15 degrees, Mississauga 11 degrees, downtown Toronto 11 degrees, Scarborough is gonna get some 13.5 degrees. So for 15 degrees, it's actually 14.5 is Scarborough. So which means 13.5 Newmarket also 15 degrees, Uxbridge 15 degrees, 10 degrees in Oshawa, Peterborough 11 degrees, Coburg 8 degrees, Belleville 11 degrees. Georgia is gonna be 12 degrees, Webler is 14 degrees, where he's gonna get some 30 degrees, Alala is gonna get some 12 degrees. Line said Obey is gonna be 9 degrees, so Bombay is gonna get some 11 degrees, Salaby 11 degrees, Thunderbee is gonna get some 9 degrees. So let's go to next hour, which is 3 p.m. So Whiteham 14 degrees, Collingwood 15 degrees, Brampton 18 degrees, this is like 14 degrees, Dodger 14 degrees, Scarborough is gonna get some 15.5 degrees. So for 17 degrees, Newmarket also for 17 degrees, with 17 degrees. Also 13 degrees, Peterborough is 15 degrees, Coburg for 10 degrees, Balboa 12 degrees, Hamilton, Ogo 14 degrees, everywhere in Aquas 14 degrees. Or else it's gonna be 10 degrees. Hanover is gonna get some 15 degrees. Line said OB is gonna get some 10 degrees. So Dom Beach is gonna get some 12 degrees. Sotheby 12 degrees. Thunder Beach is gonna get some 8 degrees. Georgia 12 degrees. Bablas is gonna get some 16 degrees. Barry is gonna get some 17 degrees. So Alala is gonna get some 15 degrees. So let's go to next hour. Scarborough. Let's go to London. Let's go to next hour. It's 8 a.m. Port Elgin, Ottawa is gonna get some 5 degrees, 6 degrees. Line said Obi is gonna be 2 degrees. Collingwood 5 degrees. Bombay 5 degrees. Solid 5 degrees. Thunder Beach 4 degrees. Georgia 6 degrees. Webler 6 degrees. Valley 6 degrees. Solala 6 degrees. Everywhere Act was 9.5 degrees. Hamilton Oakville 8 degrees. Mississauga 7 degrees. Brampton 8 degrees. Tofu 7 degrees. Scarborough 7 degrees. Downtown to 7 degrees. Newmarket Orange, well, it's gonna be 7 degrees, Hooksville 7 degrees, Oshawa 8 degrees, Peterborough 8 degrees, Coburg 7 degrees, Valwell 8 degrees, Whiteham's 5 degrees. So let's go to next hour, which is 2 p.m. There is always something in temperature pattern. So let's go. So line set OB is gonna get some 13, no, it's gonna be 14, 15, 15. So it's gonna get some 14 degrees in line set OB. Collingwood 13, Palm Beach 13 degrees, actually 14 degrees, 12 degrees actually. So Thunder Beach, Thunder Beach is gonna get some 14, 15 degrees. Saxon is gonna get some to 11 degrees. That's in Thunder Beach. So 13 degrees. Lines at OB is gonna get some 13, 11 degrees in lines at OB. So mainland is gonna be 15 degrees, 13 degrees, 15 degrees. So 13 is gonna be 10 degrees. Whereas it's gonna get some 13 degrees. Where it's gonna be 13 degrees. Everywhere in Anchor Falls is gonna get some 65 degrees. Hamilton Ogo is gonna be 5 degrees. Brampton 9 degrees. Mississauga 6 degrees. Darren 6 degrees. Scarborough is gonna be 75 degrees. Topo 9 degrees. Newmarket Ontario 10 degrees. Hooksville 11 degrees. Oshawa 9 degrees. Peterborough 14 degrees. Coburg 8 degrees. Belleville 15 degrees. Or Elgin's gonna be 19 degrees. Anima is gonna get some 20 degrees. So let's go to Wharton 20 degrees. So let's go to Lilla. Let's do a whole Orlilla again. So Orlilla Beverly Hills again. So Beverly Hills is 10 degrees, Beverly Hills is 12 degrees, Verdi is gonna be 13 degrees, Orlando is gonna get some 13 degrees, 12 degrees, 13 degrees, 13 degrees. So